What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my podcast, Apply Pressure to Life, where I promote healing, engage in lifestyle and media perspectives, and exchange lifestyle stories and different outlooks on life with guest appearances, aka my clients. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about purple aura and energy. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Apply Pressure to Life, and I'm excited to introduce to you guys episode 2. This is super lit. I'm excited to be able to go ahead and talk about the color purple and the energy of purple. Last time you guys tapped in, I just kind of gave you a brief introduction of who I was and what I'm about, and now we're getting into the actual active colors and how they connect to our spirituality. And so I'm really excited to be able to break this down, because it's something that I honestly noticed the connection some years back, when I started gravitating to certain colors that I just wouldn't consider my favorite color. My favorite color is, of course, always black. Love black, golds, anything that was gold, and magenta colors were definitely my thing. Pinks, purples were definitely my shades of color. But then I started noticing that I was getting into a lot of electric blues, and then specific greens, like an olive green, and I was really wearing it, shopping it, just gravitating to these colors. And I just started to wanted to research why I was gravitating to these colors, because I think we all notice that colors, when we see them, we feel a type of way. And then I just kind of got into the knowledge of how businesses use colors. And when I started to understand how business use colors, I was like, okay, there definitely has to be a deeper meaning to how colors are used. And I was watching a video not too long ago, and a speaker said it best, and he said that colors is not what it is, but color is what it gives us. And I just really had to soak that in. Let me say it again. It says color is not what it is, but color is what it gives away. And that makes a lot of sense to me personally, because when I see any shade of color, it definitely makes me feel a way. So whatever the color that we're seeing or we're feeling, it gives off something. And a lot of the times these colors not only give us something, they are a sign and a connective way to the Holy Spirit, and a way for God to just kind of talk to us and kind of let us know what state of mindset that we're in, what our highest vibration is, things that we're needing in our lives, specifically on when you get into what type of shading. And so what I'm going to start to do is break down each color and basically tell you guys what the energy is for each color, outside of the typical things that we kind of know, some people know, like what certain colors are. Like today we'll be talking about purple, and a lot of people associate purple with wisdom. But there is a lot more, or even royalty, but there is a lot more into depth when it comes down to these colors. So I want to go ahead and just start breaking them down. And I wanted to start off with purple because purple is our top chakra. It is the top root chakra. It's considered technically the third eye. Chakra, when you see chakra pictures, and it shows the inner alignment of the colors, it starts off with a dark purple or indigo color, which is the crown and third eye area. And this is, being that this is the third eye area, the crown chakra, I found this interesting because Whenever I would watch like Bible stories, like kid cartoon Bible stories, I would always notice like certain prophets or men and women of God that would have like the fire that was on top of their heads. And then when I started learning about meditation, I started noticing that a lot of um, I guess teachers, I don't want to necessarily say gurus, but teachers in meditation would always, ask you to close your eyes, but within your eyes to look up. Um, and to imagine even the color purple or indigo. And even when you think about indigo children, or just the what the color indigo is connected to, it is connected to a higher vibration, and a higher spirited entity and energy, which kind of connects to back again to the crown chakra, which is also known as where you actually connect to not only your higher self but to the Holy Spirit, to God. And this is a good way for us to actually get connected to the Holy Spirit, when you're in the purple energy and in the purple state. One thing to definitely understand when it comes down to color is that it is important to know that colors that you reflect is your aura. That is what people overall says, like, oh, you just give off the aura, autumn, or an aura orange or red. You just give off this bright aura, which is usually like a gold or a yellow. Like, there's usually an aura that happens, and these colors reflect that. So I just want to kind of go ahead and start listing some things down, when it comes down to purple energy. Like I said, people associate purple as royalty, but purple is also associated with wisdom, luxury, power, authority, creativity. It is your highest vibration. It's also where your highest intuition is, and understanding. The negative side about this is that people who are in the state of purple can be manipulative. And these are your darker shade purples, which is something that I will also get into as far as your lighter shades and darker shades, because they do have different intent. Your lighter shades are your pure intuitions and your purest mindset and intention, where the darker side is usually where it's a state of uncomfortability, a state of where it's kind of ungodly, it's uncomfortable, it's unsettling. It's a hidden place. It's a very secretive place, when the color is darker. So when I'm talking about the negative side of it, it usually reigns in the darker shades of purple. Um, and so manipulation is one, ungodly authority is another. We said authority is a positive ranking, which I guess that would go into the line of royalty. And when you're feeling royal, you feel like you're that girl or you're that guy. Um, but there's the opposite side of where you can be in that state of purple and feel like entitlement, which nobody should really be in a state of an entitlement type of spirit. We should all be in a humble type of mindset. So having an ungodly authority isn't usually the proper way to honestly have your energy, but there are people who kind of walk in this unrighteous decision making. This goes into the opposite side of people's intuition. And when you're in the state of purple, this is usually where you actually make choices. It's not just a feeling at this point. It's more of like now you're making decisions, you're moving into it. Once again, it's an empowering state of mind. So you have the authority in this mindset to to honestly accomplish and achieve anything that you want to. It's just honestly about how you want to portray that and put that out there, and about what you want to do with that. People who are in a darker shade of purple can be in another state of mental issues, a lot of questioning yourselves, feeling on one end sure of how you feel and your entitlement and your right into anything and everything, but then conflicted in a physical standpoint of where you're not necessarily in the position of having authority and people want to go against you, and it just seems like you're in a very isolated state, which brings me to my next point of having very little friends, because people who usually like a state of darker purples and blacks put themselves in a Ursula type of setting. And if you look at how Ursula is even designed, it's in a black and purple setting, and it's mauve type purple, which mauve has a gray undertone within the purple, and that mix of the gray is manipulative, because it can play into white, where it's like, I can give you your heart's desires, but on the dark side, there's always consequences of it. And when you start mixing that together, you can become manipulative. And this may sound like a lot, especially if you've never genuinely noticed it at all. But if you definitely take the time, especially with me kind of bringing it to light, that you will start tying certain things together if you actually sit back and just kind of take a look at self, if purple is one of your shades of color. Dark purple also means that there is a cleansing that needs to happen in this time frame. So if you're gravitating to purple, really analyze what the shade of this purple is. If you, like I said, if you're in a lighter shade purple, this is all good energy. This is lavender, lilac, even kind of merging into like magenta, stuff that has a little bit of that high pigmented red. Anything that's in a high pigmented type of shade, all of those colors mixed in give you more of an understanding of your journey and your walk. And if you're looking at those lighter colors of purple, then you're in a pure state of understanding your wisdom. You know that change is coming. You're knowing that decisions are being made. You're in a light-hearted place about it. You're getting creative and expanding your creativity and becoming successful in it. You're in your highest vibration, and you're listening to your intuition, and you're making those choices, and you're being understanding about all of that, which is good. This is all good vibration, and anything that you want to kind of amplify that vibration would be eating fruits within these colors. They say you are what you eat. So being able to go ahead and consume purple foods, even yellow foods, that will also help you with a new journey. If you are starting to make changes in the state of purple and making decisions, you want to go ahead and start consuming some yellow into your vibration. And if you ever seen the colors yellow and gold together, it's usually a championship, some type of teamwork effort that happens within the two color combinations. And that's ultimately what happens in the physical and the spiritual realm when you blend those things together, and it becomes part of your aura. So when you start meditating, and if you've ever heard somebody say, meditate on this color, those colors bring in what your body is lacking in a sense. And I always like to reference, I know it's gonna sound silly, but I am a big kid and I like to watch The Last Airbender, Avatar. Don't judge me, but I was a Nickelodeon fan. And anyway, the Last Airbender honestly had a lot of good episodes, and I want to say this was in. It could have been in the last books of the Avatar, but you can YouTube it. It's about 6 minutes long, and it's basically when Avatar Aang goes and is trying to open up his chakras, and he's meeting up with the guru, and he's basically going through which chakras open up what area of the body and what you have to release when it comes down to these chakras. And he does break down, like, like I said, the meanings and everything, but when you watch it, you'll see each chakra is a color. And if you have time, go check it out. That's what actually help you come to terms with a balanced mindset. This will help you let go of fear. This will help you let go of anger, anxiety, trying to over prepare when you need to be more present sometimes. So having this understanding of aura is useful. And because we're talking about purple, I'm distinctly talking to the people who've been gravitating into these colors. If you're the type of person who have been gravitating to darker shades of purple, there's nothing wrong, nor like you're a bad person or you have bad tendencies or anything. But when you're in these darker shades of purple, you do have a higher ranking of understanding of mindset, but you can also be in a place of manipulating in areas where it's only for your own self enjoyment and pleasures, which, I mean, each his own. If that's what you're about, that's what you're about. But overall, us as people, we are designed for purpose, and I believe that we are all here to be a light in this world, be another piece of evidence of God's glory and who he is. And I know how he's been in my life, and I want to be able to help expand the mindset, because like I said, we all gravitate to certain colors, whether it's your favorite color or not. There is a mindset that happens behind it. But anytime I've ever talked to anybody who's gravitated to the state of purple, they have this I know it all vibration. And that doesn't mean that you are a know-it-all. Not saying that you're not humble, but there is a true spirit, and only you can tell yourself. Like, you can't, nobody else can honestly tell you how you feel except you. But there is a slight I got this, I know it all attitude. I don't need nobody to have understanding. In my walk, I got this on my own. And on one end, that's great. On the other end, it allows you to be in your own lane by yourself, very isolated, where, in certain circumstances, including career, you would need to be able to have enough people to want to network with you and be around you. So you would want your vibration to be a little bit more open. And when it's darker, it's more closed in. That's why when people who wear black usually like to wear hoodies and hats and stuff like that, because they don't really want to be seen. Not saying that they are not bold and courageous people, but they usually don't mind just kind of being in the shadow and kind of skating through, being observant but not being seen, type of vibes. So just kind of be aware of that. If you are not in the state of purple, but you want to have a purple vibration, meaning you want to obtain more wisdom, you want to obtain a mindset that will help you manifest more luxury and royal things in your life, where you can be at a better, higher vibration. And this is up to people who can really say they want to understand what opening their third eye genuinely means. Because if you've ever watched any TikTok video about your third eye being open, they will tell you that Be careful what you ask for, because as soon as your third eye is open, there's no closing it at all. There's no closing it whatsoever, which for me, I don't have no problem with it. I do not have no problem having my eyes open. The problem overall, though, is the things that you thought you enjoyed and you loved and you grew up with and you didn't think that needed change is instantly like, yeah, that needed to be changed. Everything I grew up with, everything I knew was a lie. It was all a lie. Everything I watch is a lie. Everything I hear is a lie. Like when you really get to see how the world operates, even to the point of how people operate. Like, now that my quote unquote third eye is now open, I don't take a lot of things personally. I'm still a work in progress, especially the more I choose to meditate and I choose to get into my word and speak to the Holy Spirit and actually have an intimate relationship with the Holy Spirit, is where my awareness about things start to open. But when I tell you I cannot hear normal songs the same again, like the songs that, like your mom's Saturday cleanup songs, like I don't hear them the same at all. Like I always joke about listening to Love Train, and if you guys want to on your own listen to Love Train, and I'm just like, our grandparents were nasty. They cannot talk about us because they were gross. Our parents were gross. The TV that we had were gross. The cartoons that we had were gross. Like, and I'm like really mad because like I used to love Powerpuff Girls. I used to really love Bugs Bunny, and I used to really love a lot of these different cartoons and stuff. And I'm just like, man, like when you allow yourself to be open to the Holy Spirit and what it's gonna reveal to you, you change a lot. And there's really no going back. And in the midst of that, you do become more isolated. But that's why it's so important to open up all of your chakras, really opening up, and being in alignment, because once again, this will deliver you from anger, disappointment, expectation, having true understanding, not taking things personal, making choices about if you want to choose to be happy versus sad, if you choose to have joy versus depression, if you choose to have patience versus anger. All of these things happen in the root and crown chakra. All of these decisions happen in the purple state aura. 100%. You got your next chakra, which is going to be blue, and the sky blues, and that's your throat chakra. That's how you get to talk. This is part of your intuition. Then you got your green, which is your heart. This is how you manifest. And then you got your orange. This is where you feel a lot of your feelings and your joy and your creativity. And you're very fruitful in this spirit. Like, it just keeps on going. And I'm telling you, this is literally a beautiful way of how God genuinely connects with us, and why we have a life full of color, and why color is used the way that it is. You know what I mean? So if you want to be in this state of wisdom, and you want to be in this state of purple, in this aura of purple, especially in the lighter shades of purple, I definitely have some foods that you can consume outside of course, wearing purple. Anything that has the lighter shades of purple, put that in your wardrobe. Help you feel that, and you seeing it will reflect it in your energy. But actually consuming certain things that are purple will help you out. Purple foods are anti-inflammatory. They can actually help lower blood pressure. And it's also anti-cancerous, and has really good iron properties in it. It also helps with memory. And these are the certain foods, just as an example, that you can go and purchase very cheap. Just consume it as much as you want to, just to help you out, get that balance of purple into your system. Blackberries is one of them. Blackberries and blueberries are technically in the purple family. purple cabbage, purple sweet potato, elderberries. We all know about elderberries, and if you can get that in your system, it will be really great. They have drops if you can't really consume the actual fruit in itself, because we know our grocery stores, and they are little to none when it comes down to good produce. But I know in Vegas they have a place called Herbally Grounded that I like, and they have the actual dried out herb, and they also have the elderberries extracted into drops, so you can also consume it that way, and that's Herbally Grounded in Las Vegas. I hope they have some in other states and countries, but if not, please definitely consume it and figure out, the best herbal spot in your town. Purple grapes is also a good fruit that you can consume. I found out that a rice called forbidden rice, which is in the purple family, is actually really good for you. Eggplant. Not a fan of eggplant. Personally, myself, I never have enjoyed how it cooks. It's texture. It's really a texture thing for me. But eggplant is really good for you. Passion fruit is considered a red family, even though it's more yellow on the inside. It is a purple fruit, and that's really, really good for you. Especially, you can make that into a juice or a water if you don't want to consume the actual fruit in itself, but it's really, really good with like a little bit of agave. Red dragon fruit, even though it's white on the inside, there are some dragon fruits that give you more of a magenta purple look, and those are really good for you because it's high in fiber, low calorie. But if you eat at least 1 or 2 dragon fruits a day, you will be going to the bathroom, and that goes down to that cleansing part. So if you're tapping into that darker shade of purple, this will be a good fruit for you to start helping you in the detox mindset. And when you're detoxing, regardless of what shade of aura you're in, make sure your intentions are clear. Meaning, when you detox, don't just detox because you need to like lose some belly fat. I mean, good job if that's the idea of what you need, but genuinely, detoxing is outside of a physical thing, a spiritual thing, and there is a motivation of change that happens in it. And if you're trying to manifest that, you have to use your words and spell it out. You have to manifest it out. So you need to be praying and asking the Holy Spirit exactly for what you need in this time frame. And if you're in that darker shade of purple and you're choosing to detox, you need to go ahead and break it down on what the things that you genuinely need to be cleansed out of your body and your spirit, so that way when you get out of the detox, that you're cleansed from it. So that's something that I definitely want you to definitely stay in locked with. A last one that I'm going to name out is purple mangosteen. That one I personally have not tried myself, but I definitely want to tap into a lot of new fruits and vegetables. I've done a raw food diet before, meaning little to no cooking. Didn't have too many meat products in my diet, and I lost a lot of weight right after high school, right before I had my daughter. And I'm telling you, I felt great. I felt really, really great, not only physically, and mind you, in that time frame, I never used to like to run, wasn't a runner. Matter of fact, I ditched PE. But I ate the fruits and vegetables and was more on a raw food diet, and I was running, I was sprinting, I was moving, I was more energetic. But mentally, I was so clear. I had so much joy. It didn't really matter what was going on in my life, anybody else's life, truth be told. I really didn't have too much chaos because I feel like my energy and my aura was producing so much that actually attracted a lot of people in that time frame. And now that I think about it, I really will put it to the things that I was consuming and how I chose to maintain a lifestyle. I even got into a daily routine, an hour, worth of yoga, and that had me in a better mindset. And I fell off once I had my daughter and I moved to Vegas, and so much was happening, and then I ended up losing my mom and my grandma and then having my son. it just became a lot, and my aura started closing down. I started dealing with trauma, demons, all type of stuff, and it just got to a point where I was just like, yeah, I need to get back into this cleansing mindset. And so I've been educating myself on what foods and what vegetables and what I can consume, especially in this day and age. And I know y'all heard they already cloning chickens, and they already trying to produce it. They already putting it out there. They already got chips in hands now. Like, there's a lot of stuff going down, and I'm gonna need us to get right. And I'm gonna put this out here right now, and they gonna note it. If you ever had a time capsule, I know this is a little bit off note, but this on note. If you ever had a time capsule, I'm going to go ahead and need y'all to remember how that time capsule was and put stuff away, including seeds, including fruits and vegetable seeds. Hide them, put them away, because the way that this earth is going is hella ghetto. We ain't gonna have nothing real nowadays, and they gonna try to make you think like, hey, it's real enough. For matter of fact, somebody said it the best, which was the worst, yesterday, where he was like, well, everything is fake anyway, might as well consume what I want. I'm gonna die from the stuff anyway. Like, no, that's not the mindset. So I'm gonna need y'all to stash away y'all seeds. I'm gonna need y'all to definitely get into a healthier mindset, let go as much of the sugar as possible. It's not necessarily about the stature of your body, about being smaller or bigger. It's more being on a healthier mindset. And this would honestly be the start of your mental healing, your spiritual healing. And it really does start with what you consume. And I could tell you this, 2 places just on YouTube alone that you guys can follow is the Health Nerds and Visit Joy. Those are 2 places that you can subscribe outside of subscribing to my channel. When it comes down to very short, simple, to the point, educational nutritionists, list of foods that can definitely help you if you just don't have the education on any of that type of stuff. So, that will be a good start for those who are just starting off. For those who already know about herbs and, more of a holistic diet, high five to you guys. You guys know what food actually does for you guys. But now I'm just breaking down the colors and what it actually does for your spiritual state and how it can help you build up your higher vibration. So once again, if there's something that you genuinely need in your lifestyle, so say for example, you feel like you need more joy, you need to be more creative, you need to just start something fresh, then go ahead and consume your apricots, go ahead and consume your oranges, go ahead and consume any fruits or vegetables that has an orange or yellow tint to it. And I'm telling you, like, you stay on a consistent basis between 2 weeks, at minimum 2 weeks, you're gonna see a change. You really, really are. You really are gonna see a change. So that is the aura purple. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little lesson or my views on how I've seen the aura purple. If you have any questions or you want to tell me what colors you've been gravitating to and that you want to hear, go ahead and leave it into the comments. I am on Spotify. I'm on Podcast Index. I'm on Amazon Music, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Pod Chaser, Pocket Cast, Dizzer, Listen Notes, and Player FM. Of course, I'm also on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, of course, and Threads. I'm also on Reddit as well. Still trying to get used to Reddit because, I'm a 90s one baby and I really didn't tap into these apps until recently. But I'm out there, and I'm excited to go ahead and be able to explain what I've been learning. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this next episode. Stay tuned. I want to know what you guys want to get into when it comes down to the next colors, and we're going to get into the art of communication very, very soon, because blue is going to actually be our next topic, which is going to be our throat chakra. And communication is something huge, which we will also tap into that nail talk, which is salon talk with my clients, and really get their feedbacks on communication and maybe some stories on what people are going through, and maybe put some insight in that element as well. So I'm gonna need y'all to tap in, subscribe, like. If you're loving it, please share. I love feedback. I'm here, starting something new, even though the things that I'm talking about isn't new for my spiritual walk and my personal physical walk. But I love the feedback. I want to know what you guys think and how I can be a better person. I'm here showing what it looks like to not have to be all the way at this successful moment. Like, this is a evident of, like, you can be going through whatever you're going through, but you just need to start something. Just start. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. I'm telling you, I'm nowhere close to where I need to be in life. I probably have under 200 subscribers right now, but that doesn't matter because it's gonna build up. So for those who are freshly listening, I'm showing you exactly where it looks like when you're starting at a bottom state, but you know what you're talking about, and you know what your talents are, and you know what your gifts are, but you're just afraid to just start. Get out of that dark shade, get out of that dark vibration. Go ahead and be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and go ahead and just start. Just do it. You can start on your phone, whatever it is. Just communicate, network, to talk to anybody who you feel like, can give you any type of inclination on whatever can help you start something that you want to do. Detox, cleanse, meditate, ask the Holy Spirit to give you the proper vision of what it is. And I'm praying for that for you today on this podcast, that anybody who's listening to my podcast, that the Holy Spirit goes ahead and open up their horizons of their fullest potential. I'm excited to see how it happens for you guys, because I'm showing you right now how it's happening for me. So I want to go ahead and tell you that I love you guys. Go ahead and radiate in your shade of purple, and continue to just shine like the diamond that you are. I love you. This is your girl, Nikki Diamond, and we are out here applying pressure to life. Love y'all. Peace.